Hi Pisces, it's Michelle from The Guided Intuitive. Welcome to my channel. I am here to do a November read for you. And yes, it is October and it's really early, but I thought I would actually get this out for you because I got so many likes, subscribes, and shares from you and also Sagittarius. Sagittarius actually beat you, but you were right neck and neck. And I do want to let you know that being said, I'm going to do the first three signs that really were so, very vocal in their comments and really got in tune to things and really focused on their likes and their shares and all of that. I do appreciate you guys. Definitely keep them coming. I appreciate it. I've got some big plans moving forward and I'd like to actually take this full time if I can. So that being said, I'm going to work on getting this out to you a little earlier than I typically do as a big thank you for you. Okay, so thank you so much for that. I am going to be using some new beautiful cards. So it's going to be in the month of November. So what we're going to do is I'm going to use the Earth Oracles, and it's all about Thanksgiving, right? It's all about being thankful and grateful for those who we have in our life. Just for and also for what we bring to others as well, and to make that a harmonious atmosphere and to make a difference in the world. And so I saw these cards and I thought, oh, I cannot wait to use them. So I'm super thrilled to use them for your read. I just used them for Sagittarius, so this is only the second time I've used them. So let's get going. I'm going to go ahead and bring the camera down, and then we're going to go ahead and get the cards on the table and see what's in store for you. So one last shuffle, and let's go ahead and cut the deck and see what we have for you. Now, I am going to do the past. We're going ahead and do what's happening right now, what's currently happening right now, what you want. Okay, and then what it is you want to focus on and what you need to avoid. Now, at the bottom of the deck, guys, we've got clarity. Okay, beautiful, really, really beautiful. So the underlying energy is about clarity. Perhaps you're getting clear on something as it pertains to a relationship, or as it pertains to maybe something you've personally been working on, on a spiritual level. Or you're getting clarity about a situation at work with a family member. Whatever issue has brought you to my channel today is what this is talking about. So this is quite beautiful, and you can see that these cards obviously are quite gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous with the artwork. Leela Williams, really some great stuff here. And these are by Toni, Carmine, Salerno. So basically this talks about clarity, and it's about their sudden clarity, maybe amid some sort of adversity that has maybe taken place. Maybe you've had something that you've had to overcome, and you've got this now acute awareness of yourself at this particular time and maybe your current circumstances. And with that comes a lot of unexpected strength and a lot of wisdom, Pisces. So I think that's really gorgeous. You're realizing the limits of a particular situation. Again, a relationship, a career, whatever the situation is, guys, note your comments below. I'd love to hear. Because this basically says is that the pressure cannot make diamonds from coal. Basically, this is talking about a challenging a misconception or a calling out of a false promise. That's what this is kind of talking about. So, really isolate and develop an idea. It could be even a talent or goal, bringing that to excellence. This is really just saying, trust your will and you'll have what it takes when it matters. So you've got this clarity. All soon everything will clear. It's going to heal and all will be resolved. And then peace is really ascending within you. It's almost as if, you've got this strength, and that it's from that peace, and it's like this glorious flower that's just that's opening into the surface. And there's this realization that comes in, in a flash, and then you actually see the world and your soul and how blessed you truly are. So follow that and really follow love to the peaceful space inside your heart and your power center from which all is possible and all is available to you. So that's what this is talking about. So just keep that in mind. You maybe have experienced some sort of clarity. This is quite beautiful. Really, 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 really beautiful. Gorgeous. Oh, that's really beautiful. Just realize the limits of a situation is what it wants you to be aware of. And it's these gems can actually come to the surface and really bring some surprising and invaluable clarity, especially if it's come from some sort of trauma or turmoil that you've been done, that's been you've gone going through. So something that has been maybe stored up deep inside you is now, it's crystallizing in isolation, and it's that's what it's doing. It's far away from many external elements, but during this, that's when the gems can really come to the surface and bring such illumination. So this is beautiful clarity there. Very beautiful clarity. Now, what's in your past that we have for you, Pisces? In the past, we have dependability and balance. So in this situation, whatever it is that you've come to my channel for, if it's a relationship, career, a business, whatever, this is talking about being dependable. So take a look at this card. It's really gorgeous. So it just talks about, have you been dependable yourself? Is that something that you need to work on? If something sounds, let's say for instance, that's too good to be true, it probably is. So choose the dependable, maybe then kind of grandiose type picture painting opportunities. And that's what this card is talking about for you. Okay, it's a really good reminder. Stay focused and stick to your goals at this time. And that's going to be very helpful for you. Don't be really distracted by just options, ill-informed options of some sort. The truth always has a way of revealing itself. And I think that this is something that's so important to remember, is that you don't need to get involved sometimes on things. Turn to or be someone that you can trust. So, like I said, have you been dependable? Is that something that you need to work on? And by being dependable, does that focus and call into something that you need to work on, which is balance? This is all in your past situation, which you may or may not have experienced at this time, or maybe you have. It may be something you have yet to experience, or it might come into your future, because these energies are transcendent. Remember that, okay? What I've had reads to which they didn't resonate with me, until, perhaps later on down the line, sometimes even a year down the line, it can happen. So take what resonates, and then, may want to revisit it every once in a while and see at different times of the year how this plays out for you. Now, it is a general read, so if you like a personal read, that can tap into more of your personal energies, and then we can focus on that there, and that is a little bit more personalized. This is a general read, and it's a lot for a lot of different energies that are coming through. This is for the sun, moon, rising, and your Venus sign. So just keep that in mind. If it resonates, great. If not, kick it out. Keep in mind that balance will be key too. But in your dependability, just listen and respect all points of view. But in the end, you really have to be true to yourself and put your faith in the great compassion of your heart, and find that comfort knowing that that love is truly the greatest law of all. Okay, and in Mother Earth, you can actually find that acceptance, that clarity, and that beauty that you can really depend on. And the law of love is absolute. So loving yourself, being dependable, and loving yourself. And like I said, this could even be a relationship where you have to be a little bit more dependable then. Who knows? That's a question then that you need to answer yourself. So note your comments below, guys. Maybe it's going to take to become dependable a little bit more balance in your life. And that could be something that's going to be very, very important. It's just avoidance of the tough stuff causes dependence, and that causes stagnation. And that brings you to kind of a loss of yourself. So, of the self. And this is saying, make mistakes with the purpose of always learning from them. It's totally fine. That's what they're there for. And really aim to manage your stress rather than just eliminate it. Try to minimize it by turning any difficulty that comes across your plate into a particular advantage. Take that energy and transform that energy and push it out into something that's incredibly positive. So with all that negativity, if you feel something super negative about, you can choose to look at it at a different perspective by, I personally had a situation where I thought of it and visualized it as like a tornado, this whirlwind that had to whirl itself up, and then it pushed up and cleared everything out of the way and gained clarity, and then I turned it into all this positive. And that positiveness has really helped me move forward in a situation that I was in years ago. So this might be something that might be able to assist you, but this is just saying balance is going to be key, and that challenge really helps you face and overcome any fear, and it's gorgeous. So notice that any challenge that you're in, it could be, again, a relationship, a career, a problem, or a job situation. The challenge is a blessing that in some way is going to make you stronger and more resilient, Pisces. So really open yourself up to the light of the world and draw it into you, and just be empowered by it and channel it into the enlightenment for all to benefit from. And just face all that comes your way, and trust that ability to make the change for the greater good. And I think that that's really going to help out a lot. So that is in your past situation. You guys let me know how that resonates for you. Now let's go into your current situation and see what we have. Oh, how interesting. Now this is talking about preservation. And this is quite interesting. So the preservation card talks about that it is all about, is there something in life that you're holding on to that you feel like that you need to preserve or just hold on really super tight to? This is what it's talking to you about. This is saying that, a dream also can be, a dream is dormant in you. So maybe you're holding something inside that's dormant to you right now, and it's not loss. It's like this. There's a slow awakening to love, and it's okay to take your time. There's some maybe emotional barriers that you have to overcome, and self-preservation, may have become self-sabotage. So, and that actually causes you to die inside when you do that. It moves you into it causes you, it's rejecting the opportunity due to fear or anxiety, and it's bringing yourself to that. And this is saying, don't let your inner self fall into that dark side. It wants you to focus on the opportunity due to that fear, due to that anxiety that is brought forth, to you. And the dismissal of kindness or doubt over someone's intention is unwarranted, okay? So, peace is a surrendering process, and we know that love is vulnerable. And this is seen to really allow yourself to trust and to believe that love is here for you. So if it's in a relationship that you're looking for more dependability and more balance, this is saying is that, your dream is not lost. It's that you're just taking time to remove some of these emotional barriers, and that if you self-preservate, if you focus on self-preservation, that can lead to self-sabotage. So we want to move away from that. And we want to focus on allowing yourself to trust and believe that love is here for you. But keep in mind too is that love is vulnerable, right? We all sometimes have a hard time expressing love, and it's because it's vulnerable. A lot of times we're told to keep our feelings to ourselves depending on how we grew up in parenting. So with that being said, this is an opportunity for you to realize that the peace is in surrendering, and not preserve. Just surrender this, work through those emotional barriers, and become vulnerable and alleviate any self-sabotage. Okay, so let love just water the seeds of your joy. Let love water your vulnerability, and let love be that creativity and contentment that truly lies within you. Accept all the blessings in the world and accept them into your heart, so that you can actually so your true self can actually emerge out of this. Okay, and that's what it wants you to know. So just note that. Let love in. Let the seeds of hope and joy that are preserved inside you, that are waiting to love, bring them to life. Bring them to life. And that's what the card wants you to do. So that's what this is talking about in your current situation. Now, the card you have just below this is called Ready But Waiting. And this is beautiful. So it's almost as if then maybe you've come out of some sort of this emotional type thing, and you're ready, but you're waiting maybe to make that right move. You're waiting before you actually say something because you're becoming much more clear. You're still, some of you may still be in that gray area and coming out even more so into the light. But this is talking about that you are understanding that vulnerability is going to be key, and that actually brings you into that ready stage. But know that there is no rush within this, okay, Pisces? There's no rush. Bide your time and then be ready to act. And really observe and build the stories of knowledge for yourself, okay? The energy, and build your resources. This will be really, really important for you, okay? Resist being, provoked to act before you are ready. That's going to help a lot. So take your time. You haven't missed a chance in love at this, if this is something that is truly on your mind. Prepare, you're actually being prepared for it. You're being poised for this opportunity of love to come your way, this job to come your way, this breakthrough in a business to come your way, or this breakthrough in this situation, whatever brought you here, to come your way. So confidence is not being certain of success. What it is, it's being prepared to give something your very best shot through the process. And that's what it's talking about. So be ready. When you're ready, guess what? As a student, the teacher shows up, right? And so that's what this is talking, is that you're ready and you're waiting. And you're waiting to think as things become clear. And you're protected right now, Pisces, by the higher power. And that is why everything seems to have come to a standstill. It's said that there is a time, there is a reason, and there is a season for everything under the heaven. And this, I truly believe is true. When the time is right, all is going to clear, and you're going to be wiser around this situation. That sweet and that loving innocence is not lost. Deep down, you still have that, and you still are that person. The original you, the original you really exists outside of that time, outside of safe, and it's waiting for it to be rediscovered. Okay, so that's what this is talking about here. Is journey into the sanctuary within, and you're going to be ready more than ever. But don't rush it. Okay. Now this is moving into what it is that you want. Okay. And the card that I get in terms of what we want here is called Absence. So let's take a look at this. Oh, this is gorgeous. So take a look at this. So you can see that this is talking about that sometimes when we go within, it makes our soul so much more stronger. And I apologize for the glare there. But it makes our soul so much stronger. And that absence of agenda and stress and any desire to wear a mask is required, you can take that off, because that absence helps you become fully present once more into who you really are. It's really talking about that. It's not what's present that is at this time that is what's missing. It's your time to yourself that's missing, that needs attention. And rather than fighting on what you don't want, put your energy into what you do want. But first you need to rest, okay? That's what this is talking about. Because this constant illumination of things that keep coming to you, that you're realizing in this process here, can be exhausting. Okay, and it can bring burnout if you don't stop for a moment and rest and take step aside from it. So that's what this is talking about. So meditation that truly connects you with your inner world, that melts, everything. And love is always present. So love is always present too. So journey into meditation through, doing that into the dimension of yourself, and just gaze into the dark mirrors of your eternity, and see that infinite life in your soul and that infinite light in your soul, right? And that's what it wants you to bring out. So relax. Go within, Pisces. Each day is recommended, even if it's only for a few minutes, because dark, quiet, inward journeys can be illuminating and even as bright as the outward ones. And that's what the card wants you to remember, okay? Now, you also, in your current situation, got influence. So perhaps others are influencing perhaps an idea, or a situation that is happening at this particular time. But what this is saying is that it's love. Let love be your influence, I think, more than anything, because it really talks about. Take a look at this. You can tell me what it maybe means to you within here, because this is just saying that let love be the influence and balance any imagination that's going on in your head with the reality as well. Be cautious of giving influence on baseless assumptions at this time. And you've got this woman holding this dove, and just be aware of what is opinion, I guess, and then what is also actual evidence, and be able to distinct between those two, okay? Because when you become aware of false limitations, that's going to help. And be open to new ideas and new perspectives, but do your homework on your own, Pisces, and really assure that a claim can hold true, and not only in practice but in theory as well. Okay, so don't be influenced by others that might not have your own best interests in mind. It wants you to go ahead and do your own homework, whatever that may be. So don't believe what everyone else might say. Do a little bit of your homework, especially as you go within. So you might be hearing from someone, and you might be hearing certain words. Do your own research, because your own intuition will tell you what it is that's going to feel best for you. You have a purpose and you have a meaning. You've got a role to play on this journey in your life. And it might even be beyond, knowing the physical world, but it is not beyond knowing of your soul. So just go into your soul and check in to see what really checks in with you, okay? And that's what it wants you to know. So, just keep that in mind. It's only through the eyes of the soul can the true nature of your life, the nature of your existence, and your purpose be known. So it does want you to do some of this meditation. So this is going to be really great for you, Pisces. So let's take a look at it as what it is that you need to focus on. Okay, so you've got a renewal that's taking place here. Quite beautiful. And what this talks about is just a new beginning for yourself. I think after going within and, going inside and doing the meditating and focusing on yourself, and understanding where you need to be more dependable, where you have been dependable, or maybe how others have been, one way or another, and you're trying to balance yourself, I think it's really going to help you considerably. And this renewal is taking place inside you, which is quite beautiful. And it's great. And you're going to have to note your comments, guys. Do you feel like you're going through some sort of renewal, some sort of revision or shift here? Because that's what this card is talking about. And, give something a try. That is making perhaps a lifelong type, how do I want to say that? Give something a try. Something that is not making a lifelong obligation. And this is basically saying is it wants you sometimes to switch your interest to get renewal. That's kind of the idea here, is that you can switch, you can refine your interest, you can swap things out. Now that could be anything from a career that you don't like, a plan that you were working on, a home, it could be a relationship, a friend, an interest, whatever it is. You can switch, refine, and swap your interests. Now, keep in mind, I'm not saying, that with deep thought and deep consideration for the ramifications of that, of course. But if something doesn't fit right for you in your soul, this is saying try something new. And if it doesn't work out, try something else. What you are looking for could be right around that next corner. So there's no failure in moving on or starting over. So, you can beat yourself up all you can, but if something's not working out for you, in a job, if something's not working out for you, be mindful, of your responsibilities and your promises, and, keep in mind of your obligations and that type of thing. But you have to go within and check and see, after going within and meditating, if you come out a different type of person, to be able to express that, be vulnerable in doing that, and then move forward on what is the purpose of your soul that you want to do. And this is saying, be open to that, okay? Not to do, but to be open to that. And if you do feel a soul's desire to move in that direction, well, then that is a decision that you're going to have to make. So there's no failure in moving on or starting over. Sometimes it takes strength more than ever to start all over again, right? But listen, really listen to your heart calling, because a thirsty heart can't be quenched by just mere logic and thinking in your head, okay? And that's what the card wants to remind you of. You have to drink from that well of life and be replenished. And, each time that your life, something in it breaks, it comes to hold more, so that's what it's saying, is that, it really talks about, your heart holds the truth, okay? Your heart really, really holds the truth of what it is that you want to do. What does it say? And this is all obviously saying is that listen to it. Listen to it, Pisces, and be reborn, okay? So ask yourself those questions. So how would you answer those below, guys? How would that answer? What is your heart trying to say to you? Okay, so that's what it wants you to know. Now we go into what is it that you need to avoid, okay? And what you need to make sure that you don't avoid. So make sure that you don't avoid the rediscovery of this renewal, okay? And that's what this card is talking about. It could be in a relationship. You're going to rediscover new things about yourself because you've learned this and you've kind of come up with this sort of renewal. Or you're going to rediscover what it is that you've always wanted to do and go back into something like that. You guys have to note your comments below, but that's what is telling me, that they've got this beautiful process that's taking place in this rediscovery. And it's sometimes we rediscover things, we withdraw into the security of loved ones, and that stumbling on that can actually trigger a memory. Stories that were told safely in a creative space, a message from the past for the future. Your body remembers, and just saying listen to the story. Deep pain is really transformed into wisdom and understanding, and that's what this talks about. So having access to the tools and the knowledge that you need is what you have right now, but just be gentle with who you were and strong about who you will become. And that's what the card wants to let you know, okay? So if you're feeling a little lost and confused, almost like a little child that was not sure how to move forward and what life is all about, then maybe this is a perfect time to consult your inner self. The one that you kept hidden, that original self when you grew up. So your child self, and supposedly be wiser even around that. Because the sweet, the loving, and the innocent in you is not lost, Pisces. That is still there, because deep down you are still that person. Your inner child is within you. Sometimes we have to go back to our inner child and understand what lessons we still have yet to learn, and bring those pieces together, because they both are you. You've got your inner child and you've got your adult child, and they are all one. The original you exists, outside of time, safe, and it's awaiting for rediscovery. So just keep that in mind, that that's what this card wants to remind you of. Now, what I'm going to do is to pull some other cards that I think was going to help you in this, what can help you in this this preservation of something, this card that we talked about before, the preservation, and how can we move out from that? This is saying to have a lot of patience with yourself, which obviously stands hold to be true because they're ready but waiting. Be patient with yourself as you go through this process of, balance and, moving forward and being dependable and going within and realizing things and about yourself and going through this renewal. Be very patient with yourself. And have a lot of self-love in the process, okay? So going back to your inner child and let your inner child know, I love you, you're safe, you're cared for, I love you, and just how much that they're adored and protected, and marry that with you as your adult child, that I am safe, I'm protected, I am loved, and, even though that I'm confused about certain things, I can still go forward with protection. So that's quite beautiful. I want to go into this... So you definitely need to rediscover yourself and go within is what it wants you to know. And in terms of, going within, what do you need to be aware of? That it's all about personal growth, right? It's all about personal growth. So you've got this 7 card. And what this tells me about is that, hey, you've got this opportunity to really, really shoot for the stars, and this is a time for significant improvement, and you're being encouraged to be the best that you can be right now. So that's what it wants you to do. So a final card for you here would be to follow your dreams, guys. Definitely follow your dreams. So I hope that this helps you out in some way, shape, or form, Pisces, and until the month of December, namaste.